Well, hey, y'all, welcome.
Good
Well,
morning.
yes, good morning. Welcome to the Love and Marriage Huntsville review panel with Shadeinthecity. Sorry, y'all, my voice is going out. And really be TV reviews, really be TV reviews.
Somebody was singing too hard
I was
yesterday.
just
They
about to
they
say that.
lost
It
their
was
voice.
Yes, I was singing last night. So yeah, forgive me, y'all. They might have to take over this recap. But if you haven't already, y'all go ahead. Y'all know what to do on this good Sunday morning. We're gonna try to get you out of here before Sunday fun day starts. So this might be a shorter service than normal, okay? But yeah,
Yeah.
y'all, go ahead and hit that like button for us.
and that subscribe button.
And yeah, y'all, let's go ahead, get into it, and let's get shady, okay? And hopefully my voice will come back. Oh, really be. Don't forget to get your lineup in, child. Don't let this be an excuse to not
I
get your
know,
vote in.
right? I know, right?
But yeah, y'all. So basically, we pick up where we left off. Mel is hosting the ladies for what is like the final all-white dinner. She asks Lauren to switch seats with Sunny because she realizes that I guess Destiny is a bit uncomfortable with her sitting next to her.
See, I can appreciate that.
What'd you say?
I said, and I can appreciate that.
I can too. I absolutely can.
Don't have this
Um,
little nasty little snake sitting next to me.
you know what? And you know what? It was so funny because I said Nels is probably so here for this scene when Mel was like, "Well, you were kind of stank."
I was.
Anyway, um, so basically, Kimmy says, tells her, "Look, you did a really good job, girl. I'm proud of you. It was a little rocky at first, but you pulled it off. It was a great girls trip. I had a good time for my first time around." Destiny feels like it's a lot of ass kissing going on around the table, and she
I
not
love
really here
and Mel
for it.
said, "What, Destiny? You don't agree?" She called her straight out. She said, "You don't agree?"
Right.
Let me tell y'all something. For those of us who are in the classroom, if y'all didn't see the teacher melody in this girls trip, like that was a whole teacher moment. Da 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 da, and she peeped Destiny's face. You don't agree? Would you like to share with the group?
It was
Right.
class.
It's like when they were on the boat, and she was like, "I want one person, everybody, to go around and give me one word." One, I was like, "If that ain't no damn teacher activity,
No, what it was for me when she was
one
like,
word."
when she was passing out the white roses and she was like, what was the word? And she was like, what was she saying? What was the word? I can't remember it now. It's in my notes. But as she gives them all, and she's like, blessings. Oh, new beginnings, new
No.
beginnings, new beginnings. I said, girl. But yeah, so no, basically the biggest thing from this scene is we see this exchange between Destiny and Sunny. Because Destiny feels like she was betrayed. And she was upset that Nell decided to ask her about kids, which I think that we said last recap. They had already had this conversation in the van on the way there. So I don't understand why Nell felt the need. Besides, it was time to produce. I don't see why Nell felt the need to bring it up again. So yeah, so Nell apologizes and Destiny receives it, only to then address Sunny and be like, oh, well, you want to bring up betrayal, and that's so funny. And she was like, well, I was never your friend.
It's funny. Here she go with this again. Girl, we established y'all were friends. I don't know
Right.
why you keep on bringing this up. We saw the receipts. Can you stop that?
And
And just
again,
admit that you did some messed up stuff?
there are levels to friendship. Like everybody isn't best friend. Me and you
Right.
must never apart. Like, but if I invite you to my world and to my personal space outside of a work environment, that means that I am building. At the very least, we are building a friendship. Because there are a
Right.
whole lot of people that I work with who have never seen me outside of work. They don't know
And
nothing about me
I
other
agree
than
with
what they
that.
have seen or heard. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. But you can be betrayed from more people than your friends. So
I
the
agree
fact
with
that
that too. I agree with that as well.
saying I'm not your friend, that has nothing to do with the fact that you betrayed me, boo.
I agree. I agree with that. And I think we get caught up in these semantics because people want to pacify their actions. Like at the end of the day, what you did was foul. And just and here's my issue. And I said this going all the way back to last season or part 1 of this season or whatever the heck this is. I said this from the very beginning. The way she came on the show bothered me more than what happened. Had she come on the show like saying, look, I know this was kind of, it was what it was, but love is love. Like I would have respected that if she had said it wasn't the most ideal way for this relationship to have evolved, but realistically, it happened organically, and it happened after I believe that there was no more communication between her and oh boy, her and Moses. And no, I didn't feel obligated to talk to her about it. I would have respected that, but that's not how you came on the show. You came on the show like Destiny did something to you. Like you had a real spank.
And that it was everybody else's perception that you done messed up this relationship and what you did was foul. No, it's not our perception, boo. You was dirty.
That's exactly how it was. Exactly how it was. But anyway, I'm with y'all on that one.
So you agree, obviously we already said her response was stank. It was stank. Okay. And Mel calls her out for it. And then basically Shanita tries to chime in and it's like, oh no, it goes both ways. And Destiny's like, excuse me.
Pipe down.
This is my moment. I said,
I appreciated that too. Because listen, I mean, I like Shanita, but girl, you don't even know these people. Can you, if it's not Mel's business, can you stay the hell out of it?
I don't like Shanita.
She's like, I don't like Shanita.
Okay, well, we know where you stand.
Look, she stated where she stands.
Right.
I mean, because I'm just letting know that you do. I don't.
So basically, y'all, Destiny basically just wants Sunny to own what she did, and Sunny reminds her that basically I apologized to you the night before. And to Nels' point, she's apologized multiple times. Now, again, if they were sincere or genuine,
without taking accountability means what?
I mean, but what do y'all want her to do? Leave the man?
Accountability.
I get what you're saying.
What I did was wrong. You know what? What I did was wrong, and I apologize for it. But we are in love, and this is what the situation is now.
But I think
but you know what? That's my problem. There's no but to it. Just say it happened. It was wrong. Full stop. And just move on. At this point, but you're right. At this point, child.
That's why I'm like, at this point, what can you? But I understand. All right, so let's move on to go ahead, Nels. Ken and Trish.
Oh, I'm so sick of it.
Okay, so it looks like
I'm no shade. I don't know if anybody else felt this way. I'm sorry to cut you off. I was so tired of this rinse and repeat. We about to sit down with all the couples and watch them talk about
this same thing
every scene.
Listen, this whole episode, the last 3 episodes could really have been one episode. Because first of all, when I turned this episode on and I saw we were still on this girls trip, I said, God darn, we're not home yet.
Right.
No. And then, like you said, we had 3 scenes where they were really just repeating what we already saw for the last 3 months. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry. I done cut you off too. My bad. I'm gonna shut the hell up.
All right. So, it looks like they're maybe at a farmer's market. Ken and Trish, and he's getting all the tea. She said that she didn't like how Sunny tried to compare their situation to, with her and Moses. And Ken said he really doesn't understand why it's such a big deal. Basically, so many couples when they're, they move on in relationships when they're still separated but married. And she said, even Melody did it. Girl, I don't know why.
I didn't know why did the stray have to hit Mel?
Exactly. Like what? Where? What? Probably because she mad Martell didn't want her. So then she talks about how Tisha brought up her going to Martell's house, and he basically said, listen, I don't even want to talk about this because this mess annoys me. He talks about how the boys even brought it up. And, Martell trying to make it seem like more than what it was. You don't really know what it was to, be saying he doing more than what it was. And, he said until the divorce gets final, everybody's really going to think what they want. He also wants to sit down with Marquez so that, they can, have some type of come to Jesus moment. And he said, and basically because he's not going to continue to be disrespected. And I mean, I feel it. Marquez, look, this scene with Marquez, boy,
he just talks in so many circles. It just
circles.
irritates
And
me.
then look, with the tears, I'm not gonna lie, I felt just like Trish. I was like,
You
what
can
are you
tell she was
crying
so
for?
aggravated. I'm sorry, y'all.
What
We
are
jumping
you
ahead.
crying for? You just admitted you did this to yourself, homie. What?
Maybe it's the realization, the
Oh,
accountability of it all.
guess what? You know how many tears I cried when I found out you cheated and had emotional relationships with other women. I'd have got up and left.
Well. And to Xavier's point, yes, if we didn't have these sit downs, Kimmy and Tisha would have no scenes. So I guess that's why
now,
we
that
had
is
to
true.
do it.
He ain't lying. Now he ain't lying about that.
I'm glad we didn't see what's her face this Stormy this episode.
Has she?
I
Oh
don't
no,
think
no,
we're
no.
going to see a lot more Stormy because remember Stormy's left the show, and
Yeah,
I
she
think at
quit
a certain point stopped filming. I don't
And
think
you
we're
think
going to
it's
see
at
a
this
lot
point,
more
maybe?
Stormy. Yeah, I don't know when she stopped filming, but I know she quit the show while they were filming. She said I think on her Instagram she said she quit the show in April or something. So I don't think we're going to see much more of Stormy at this point. Honestly, we may get a few filler scenes that maybe they just going to splice in, but I don't think we're going to get a lot more foundational stuff out of Stormy.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you know what's so funny, Terica? Good point. So for some reason, I didn't notice Stormy not being there, but what I did notice was that they had a new thing with Trisha because she has that blonde hair.
Right, Trisha's in the opening credit, right? But right, exactly.
Mm.
So maybe this is the switch up.
Yeah, right. All right, go ahead, really be get into Kimmy and Maurice in the same conversation we're about to talk about with
Child,
Tisha.
it's the same damn conversation. But what I will say is, I did peep how Maurice was a little more blunt when he repeated what happened. He was like,
Maurice.
Yeah, Martell said he messed with her because she wasn't bad enough, baby. And then Maurice said something that I 100% agree with. Maurice was like, I feel like he like Trish more than Trish like him. And Kimmy was like, don't say that out loud. Don't. He was like, what? I mean, that's how I feel. So I feel the same way. I feel like
I can respect it though.
And he said, I like when he said the timelines ain't timelining because really all the relationships that she's had have overlapped with her marriage because technically she's still married.
She is.
And I think he said she's still married to this day.
Yeah, and like all that, and that was another thing with that scene, that whole scene with them signing the papers. Well, who filed them?
My thing, no,
they filmed this months ago.
Really, what got me was, remember, he said it needs to be notarized and signed. Why are you signing the paper and you ain't in front of a notary?
Then it don't mean shit. If it need to be notarized, that all of that was for the cameras.
She asking the waiter for the pen. Girl, you need to take this paper and go to a notary, ma'am.
Maybe you didn't know. Maybe the waitress had a notary. Maybe she had her notary thing.
They gotta watch you sign it. They gotta stamp it. That aggravated the hell out of me. This man just told you it needs to be done in front of a notary, and you gonna ask the waiter for a pen and sign.
Okay, I'm here for it. That is the way it should be.
I know that's what my auntie told me. My auntie said, "You better find you a man that love you just a little bit more
than
you love him."
Yeah.
Like just a smidgen, just
all right. You done with Kimmy and Maurice?
I mean, I don't feel like there was a whole lot more there. I mean, Kimmy said she don't really do girls trips, and I mean, it was just the same regurgitation. Yeah. Like, okay, yeah. Only like I said, the only thing was that they did talk about this timeline with Maurice and with Ken and Barbie, and so we kind of I think that was pretty much it.
All right, so we move on to Tisha and Marceau basically having pretty much the same conversation. I think the only highlights from this one is basically she addressed Shanita calling her the ops, and basically said that Shanita looks like a guy. Marceau basically says that don't be worried about Shanita because she won't be around next year because we know Mel doesn't keep friends long. I said, dang. And then
he ain't wrong.
And you know what's so funny? And y'all know I ain't even gonna say that word. I'm not that, but when I tell you, I was like, he didn't say nothing wrong. I was like, the girl hasn't been known to keep friends.
You know what though? I did like the fact that he addressed the situation with Mel and Destiny and basically said Mel definitely has a reason to feel the way she feels about Destiny and Martell's relationship because he says little things. I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, he keeps on repeating it. He was like, and I feel her. Like I see why she feels the way she feels.
And he brought up, and I thought that was a good point too. He was like, Martell says these things and he repeats them and he keeps saying them. So yeah, I mean, Mel wasn't necessarily wrong for putting it out there. And then Mel already felt some kind of way because she felt like that that Destiny kind of chose Martell over her, like you getting off the phone with me to go talk to him and that kind of stuff. So it wasn't a hard leap for her to make, it wasn't a hard leap for her to make. So I'm with you on that too. I agree. I agree in that. I thought.
Well, I like what Xavier said. My problem with Mel, she knows Martell is a liar and tells us that, but yet repeats his foolishness.
Now that's valid. That's valid.
I gotta give you that, Xavier. Marceau is full of ish. Okay, Phil. Mel just wants to have an issue with Destiny. I can absolutely somewhat say that. Kind of agree with that. That's why Marceau is sexy too, though. He's a truth teller. I love me some Ray Bean. So yeah, y'all. So then basically she goes into Mel and Destiny having a come to Jesus moment. As we know, we kind of touched on that, and her accusing Mel of telling Coleslaw or teaching Coleslaw how to cheat respectfully. And I love when Marceau was just like, that sounds stupid.
He's right. Like, no. He's like, no, I don't think so.
Like, yeah, exactly. And again, I feel that what I'm going to say is I don't believe that conversation took place. I do believe that there were conversations between Melody and Ariane that both of them have acknowledged that there were conversations had. So, and I think people are sort of taking their interpretation out of that. But I don't believe that type of language was used. And I think that's a throwback to season 1, episode 1, where Melody made the comment about respectful cheating. And I think that's where that comment came from. And I think that's where Destiny took it and or production gave it to Destiny to take. But I think that's where that came from.
Okay, so then we have the sit down with Ken, Marquez, and Trisha. I'm going to say I was distracted by what Trisha had on.
I can't.
I was distracted because it looked like she had on a tank top with a backwards button-up shirt with her arm hanging out the collar. I was confused. As to what was going on. And honestly,
Lord.
I was distracted. I was distracted by the whole situation. But anyway, what I know is, okay, they was having a conversation about emotional connections. Basically, he was saying that, Marquez was basically saying that he knows that this has been going on while they were together. Ken tried to tell him that no, it wasn't. They didn't have no type of physical nothing. So he says that they had an emotional connection, and Trisha don't want to hear that because she knows that her man cheated on her and had all types of emotional connections. So then Marquez basically is like, can we stay on topic? I bet you want to. So he's like, do you hug my daughter at night? And he was like, absolutely, I do. He was like, my daughter and your daughter.
That was a weird question. I didn't.
Yeah. And the fact that he said at night, like it seemed like he was trying to make it right.
I feel like he was maybe trying to go somewhere with that.
He was trying to make that. Like, I could understand if he said, do you show my daughter affection or something, whatever, but do you hug my daughter at night? Sir, just, if you was there, you would know. Okay. So basically, ooh. Ken says, he definitely does. He said his daughter and, his own daughter are really good friends. So he definitely shows her affection. And then, Marquez expresses how he feels some type of way about, all the things that Ken is doing for his children. He said, listen, I'm a natural provider. Okay. And I'm in the house. They respect me. I respect them. I love them. They love me. And that's what the hell I'm going to do.
He decide, dude. So that's what he's supposed to do.
Now, Xavier, I don't know. I thought it was just me too, but I definitely thought looked like he was a little shaky there. Maybe he was just nervous but.
I agree with what Phil said, and I have to say this because me and Phil very rarely agree on anything. So I have to acknowledge when we do, but I agree with Phil said. All three of their asses is lying, and that's how I feel about it.
But you know what though? My thing is, even I'm with Trisha. Even if I was talking to him before we officially separated, sir, it's because you left me out here on my own. You've been messing with how many chicks?
But I still think there are lying. And again, we know. First of all, we know that Trish will lie if she feels like something can be misinterpreted. So we know her ass will lie. So I feel like she is lying about the timeline because you're right. If he was emotionally unavailable and she was doing what she was doing, you're right. I ain't judging her for that. But I do feel like she's lying because she doesn't want to have that hard conversation the same way she lied about the whole Martell thing. You know what I mean? We ain't never gonna get the truth to that goddamn story. I mean, we ain't gonna never get that truth.
Kenneth Coleslaw, that's Kinslaw.
I know, Kinslaw.
Kenneth Coleslaw.
But yeah, basically, you know, Ken says that he wants to get to a good place with him, and he's like, you know, I can't do that unless you're willing to go there with me. And you know, they're trying to. But I don't know. I actually liked Ken in this scene right here. You know, he was actually the most mature one, it seemed like, at the table.
He was. I give it that. Yeah, he was. He was really trying to get some resolve and move forward. He was. I agree.
And it looked like he kind of eased Marquez a little bit, even though Marquez said that, you know, it's not going to be easy for him. But, you know, he's working on himself. He actually got emotional, but knows that it's all his faults, you know, that they're where they're at. Then he gave this girl the divorce papers that, like I said, don't mean nothing because they weren't signed in front of a notary. So yeah, I mean, and I'm really, I mean, and that was the episode. I know Trisha was ready to get up and leave. I would have, let me say, as soon as he started shedding some tears, I would have got up and left. I was aggravated for her.
Andre said, after that handwritten response Marquez filed in court the other day, I think there's more to the story. And B, Marquez probably shouldn't be trusted alone with knives or forks. What?
Are we saying he gonna hurt himself? What we saying?
I hope not.
What he filed in court. I'm not familiar with that information.
I know that's you giving us some tea. Phil said, I think Ken beat him up before.
He piped down so fast.
Remember Marceau said that happened at Black at the homecoming party. Remember he said that. He said, that was you. That was you that was fighting? Yeah, so they did. They've been into this altercation before.
Oh, that's
why I'm pretty certain he got his ass whooped.
Absolutely. That's why all he got to do, look, chokehold him, girl, please. Look.
Yeah, just simply, we clocked that. We clocked it. And she said, I was just saying he's a little slow.
Oh, well, yeah, girl.
Oh.
I think Marquez and Trish met in the special classroom. They was riding the same bus, if you get what I'm saying.
Well, y'all are. So Xavier said, I like the fact Trisha was actually eating during this season. Or do you mean seeing?
He was cutting up that steak. He meant that thing. He was cutting that steak up like he meant that.
Was it y'all have to see the file and please pull it up? Y'all will have tears by the time you make it to the end. Oh Lord. Okay. Oh, Lord. Well, I'll be ready. Look, I'll be ready next week, y'all. I'm trying to get y'all out of here on a quick Sunday service.
Oh, so Phil said the short one.
Really? Yes, the short one. Yeah.
Y'all are funny. But yeah, y'all. So that was pretty much it. Yeah. Thank y'all for being here with us. Again, it was a quick Sunday service. We appreciate y'all.
To this episode.
Huh?
I said it wasn't nothing to this episode. This episode could have been an email.
Yeah, look. Everybody's catching on like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. She getting a pin from the waiter. Ain't no notary there, boo.
Right.
He specifically said it need to be signed and notarized.
Well, y'all, if you haven't already, y'all go ahead and make sure y'all hit that like button for us.
Subscribe to the channels, both of us.
Right. Make sure you comment. Yeah, y'all, we'll catch you next week. And I'm gonna go look up that law, see if I can find that file in that lawsuit. Because I need a good laugh. But anyway, y'all, we hope you have a great Sunday. Have a great and yeah, we will catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Peace.